Good evening, traders. This is Krishna Joshi here again with you guys, and I'm here to bring today's trader takeaways. And it was a pretty interesting day. A small range on SPY again. A gap down today for a change after 4 or 5 consecutive gap ups on SPY. So this was pretty good, a good start to the day where you had a lot of earnings, and surprisingly, quite a few of them had gap down right off the open. Big names like Procter Gamble, like United Rentals, URI, uh, and the ones that were gapping up was AXP. I think that was the stronger one. So let's quickly jump onto SPYs, the daily chart on SPY. You can see a little gap down, little pullback, hardly anything, probably 3/4 of a percentage. And look what happened right at the end of the day. So it's gradually sold off pretty much till the noon. And then all of a sudden, right around the close, big spike right after 3:30. And there's news in the market, and the spice just rallied, like it rallied more than a point. 268.25 to 269.50. You couldn't catch anything. The quotes were all over the place, and not a good time for shorts if you were shorting all of these tops, trying to capture a little bit of moves, like trying to scalp your way in the markets. It wasn't a good time for you. Kind of gradually gave back about uh, a quarter of a percentage of that big move, but nonetheless uh, sideways and a little bit downwards, like a little bit of a minor pullback, you could say. Let's jump on to individual names. Something I'll start off with, something I did better today was PIR. Ever since I started trading in 2014, PIR has been on a downtrend. This is where it used to trade around 17 bucks, and look at that, it's at $2 now. Pretty much every earnings is a gap down except for a couple of surprises, but at least I've seen about 14 to 15 earnings announcements, and it's only been down 13 of them. So no surprise today. The company is not doing that great, and it had a big gap down. So it sold off after hours yesterday, and that continued into the morning. However, the good part was it gave me a great short opportunity right off the open at 290 bid. I think 293 was a huge offer, so it goes up to 290 bid, 93 offer, and just quickly just slams right back down. And so that was a good easy trade right off the open. So gave me a good PNL cushion right in the morning. Was involved in this one. Did not really get hurt a lot on this. Again, I short right around the tops, like 75, 74s, covered mids, covered the offer, or probably a cent higher. Pretty much a scratch trade, but I think the big easy trade, the easy money was right around here, and then had to just leave it alone. That was the wise thing to do. Even though I was involved in it, I did not really make or break anything right off the morning PNL highs. So overall, a good day. The offer was huge. A few things that I was noticing was it's multi-year lows on the stock. If I go back, this is the weekly, and look at that. 287 was holding, I think. These lows are 287 somewhere here. Yeah, so it broke below it, and but again, it didn't really go down to $2.50 or even lower. So it was more like a big opening push, and then that's about it. So PIR was one good stock for me. Philip Morris, like a big company, and you don't really see a big high dividend paying company like PM gap down like 15%. It did give a few good opportunities to get short. I was particularly short 89 around here, had a very early cover on that, covered 88.10s because of the previous resistance. So I wanted to see what it wants to do there. So again, PM, not really a huge trade right off the short trade, could have done so much better here. But what I started doing then was I started looking at these higher lows and really had an amazing entry right around here. Great setup for me. Higher lows consecutive, like third higher low, first, second, and third, and then just again, like yesterday, I kept working with the trend lines, kept looking at the support resistance, added some here, added some through the breakout, and then as it got close to 85, I trimmed some right around here. Got out for pretty much rest of it in the 84.90 area. So this was a good start, and I saw it started wedging again. I did try a short trade at 85.15, which was somewhere in here. It was a lot of choppiness. I wasn't risking a lot. My stop was above 40, 45, but I did not even wait for it to go to 45. I knew what it wanted to do. I knew the kind of move that it was doing. We saw similar setups in UAL yesterday. If you looked at the video from yesterday, if not, please do go back and watch that video. So similar kind of setup, similar action, and then you can see the breakout again. Had a nice little position, not as big as the initial trade, but nonetheless a good position. Similar kind of setup as the first one, wedging, ascending triangle, forming a base, and the highs get taken out on big volume, and there you go, like good continuation there. However, I missed this opportunity. I was looking at it pretty close. I couldn't catch the offer because the quotes were all over the place right after the Trump announcement around 3:30, and I couldn't make most of this move. Otherwise, it was a good time, easy trade, because it just shot up 75 cents. This is going to be on my watch list for tomorrow as well. Big company, lot of movement today, and let's see what this has in place for us, because we know the lows that it hit. It did not want to trade anywhere below 84. The buying kept coming in. It was easy to get short at the mid price. If you get short, it flips down a cent and then just ISOs up 10 cents. So you knew the stock was strong somewhere around here. The value buyers probably got in. But why not? I would say like a stock like this, probably a fundamental change going on overall in the sector, but they still pay 4-5% dividend yield on a stock like this. So I'm definitely gonna watch it tomorrow. Something that I should have done better. All right, let's look at a bad trade first. So next category, a bad trade. So I was trying to short these. So I shorted 60.01, 60.02, try to see if this wanted to break, and I knew like this was again coming right back up, testing the high. So I wanted to put a stop above this and get short. And this wasn't a particularly great trade because again I saw a higher low. The markets were holding again a higher low, and I did not follow the process. So I saw similar setups in other stocks. I was looking at it on the long side. I wouldn't have made a whole lot of money if I was long in this, but again the idea was sticking to the process, taking the right trades, being in the right direction, and which is why I think Alcoa, this trade goes down as a bad trade for me, because the same setup has been working for me 2 days in a row. I've had good winning positions, good risk reward setups off of these kind of setups, and I just was on the wrong side of the trade. So I probably got out like 24, 25, 27s, but again I should have been long on this kind of setup because I've seen this price action before. I know what the stock wants to do. If it doesn't give me a confirmation, if it doesn't go down, if it doesn't test these levels on volume on the sell side, you know it's not going down anymore. And this actually gapped up. Alcoa gapped up. It was up much more after hours yesterday, but it gapped up, made a double top today morning, and sold off. I wasn't in it in any of this because the liquidity was really low, and Alcoa, ever since the reverse split, not been my favorite anymore. It used to be, if you guys know, this used to be a very low name, like low price name, in the single digits, high single digits, $7, $8, $10 it used to trade around. So not the easiest trade if you want to trade size in these ones. So Alcoa goes down as a bad trade, and something that I should have done better would be Procter & Gamble for me. So this is what I was looking, right? Sells off right off the open. I felt like this is going to give him a good continuation setup like Johnson & Johnson from a couple of days ago. We saw Johnson & Johnson pretty weak, goes down twice in a row, 2 days in a row, clean action. However, we did not see that in the pullbacks were huge, much bigger, like more than 50% retracement off of the lows, and with stronger volume on the buying side. So as it got tight on the 1 minute, I got involved, I think just below the 75.15 area. I think I got the 10s, 11s, somewhere around here, and then it came on the retest and then gave me another opportunity to add on this one, and ended up being a good trade for me. And I took, I think, at a decent price. I say I should have done better in this one was because I was watching it right around here. Similar kind of action as the morning move, similar levels too. In fact, 75 bid was holding. The whole numbers halves when these kind of numbers start holding on earnings. You saw that in Alcoa in the previous one. $60. So, and PG you can see 75. So when these kind of setups are holding, when these numbers are holding, when it actually goes below it and shoots right back up, that's an easy tell that there's a lot of buying in and around this. These levels act as magnet areas, and then it did pop up with the news in the market with the spies, the Trump news, but again, an easy trade. I knew I was watching this all day. This was on my radar, and I should have picked up the long. I should have been in it. So something that I should have done better. I had a good morning trade. I had a feel for the stock. On this one, I did put on a short position. I think in the 40s, somewhere around here as well, and that it should be right around here in the 40s. So I had a small short position just to see what wanted to do, and I covered into this buying area, which was 75.20. So I in fact I had an order out. I just covered 22s, 23s, everything. It was a small scalp. Well, I knew like if this is the magnet, it's gonna come back to it, gonna pull back to it, and then probably set up higher again, which did not happen in this case. But again, I wanted to stay with the trend, which was on the upside after a strong sell-off in the morning. Not particularly bad numbers, but probably on the top line they expected that the growth should be much more higher. So this goes down as something I should have done better. Alcoa, a good learning experience in that one as well, where you want to stay with the trend. If you see these kind of setups, hold numbers, and when someone's trying to push it and it springs right back up, I think that's a good opportunity if you look at the time and sales really close. So all in all, a slow day, but taking the right setups, it can really work in a direction. And a lot more earnings coming out. SKX, Skechers, one of the top 5 retail footwear companies, so that should be pretty active tomorrow. So let's see what that has in place for us tomorrow. And thanks again for watching, guys. Appreciate the feedback, and keep liking, subscribing, share with your friends, with your family, and let us know how we can do better. Thank you.